Oh, here we go, here we go, here we go. Like, I expected this to happen, but it's just like there's a part of me that's kind of like pessimistic. Like, the worst case scenario might happen with the New York Knicks. We've seen situations like this happen in the past with tampering. We're going to be getting into the specific details, but it's like knowing the Knicks, they're going to get like a first round pick removed and get fined. Like, if it was any other, like 29 other teams, like they get fined and then they get like a second round pick removed, or they just pick one of the two. But it comes down to the NBA, just like how bad do they think the situation really is. But we saw with the Bucks and Bogdanovich, the trade didn't go through because of some tampering. A lot of discussions going on before it was really official. There's stuff going on in the NBA all the time. I'm not saying it's just the New York Knicks, but I'm going to be as unbiased as possible when it comes to this situation. We all know the New York Knicks were locked in on Jalen Brunson. He was their top priority. Obviously, we gave him 4 years, $104 million, a lot of cash there. So it says, according to Fred Katz of The Athletic, the Knicks are expected to be fined for tampering by the NBA. From what I've gathered, the Mavericks are quite frustrated with the Knicks, and not just because reports of a finished deal came out before New York was even allowed to speak with Brunson, though I'm not sure how tampering rules account for father-son relationships, and this situation involves two of those. Dallas wasn't thrilled about Knicks executive William Worldwide Wesley showing up courtside to a Mavs Jazz playoff game. Either people I talked to around the league expect the Knicks to get dinged for tampering. So the New York Knicks are obviously going to get dinged for tampering. Hopefully it's just a second round pick and we get fined, or just one of the two. We'll see what goes on to happen. But at the end of the day, it comes down to the NBA. And it's so funny, the Jazz series situation. When you think about the Jazz Mavericks situation, obviously the Mavericks came out on top. That happened. And the Jazz just got affected negatively. They lost Rudy Gobert. A lot's going down over there. The whole Donovan Mitchell situation, that's a whole separate video. But it's funny that William Worldwide West went to that game. And also Julius Randle went to that game as well. A lot of people were like, oh, we're getting Donovan Mitchell. We're trading for Donovan Mitchell. But some Knicks fans forgot. Jalen Brunson's kind of the dark horse in this situation. He's a free agent on the other side. So a lot of people aren't talking about that. So maybe the Knicks can defend themselves by lying, saying, no, we're looking at this player, but then it also doesn't help them in a way. It's like, should you really be doing that type of thing? Or we're just enjoying some good NBA basketball. The NBA really won't fall for that as well. But the father-son thing is sus. I'm not going to lie to you, but then there's the other side of the coin, like the New York Knicks can defend themselves on. If you didn't know, Jalen Brunson's known Leon Rose since he was a baby, since he was extremely young. And obviously Leon Rose and the Knicks organization, James Dolan and all that, went on to hire his father, Rick Brunson. And the reason why you can make an excuse here, or you could defend yourself, because no doubt about it, when you hire someone's father, it's like there's an attractive part of that. Like, Jalen Brunson was a Knicks fan when he was a kid. His father used to play for the Knicks. He knows the Knicks organization. He knows Leon Rose, and playing for your father would be absolutely amazing. So we hired Rick Brunson, who was a former head coach of a high school basketball team. But not just that, he was an assistant coach under Tom Thibodeau from 2010 to 2012 when it came to the Chicago Bulls, and also a couple years for the Minnesota Timberwolves. So Tom Thibodeau could say, I really like his coaching style. Look at the past. Like, I wanted to bring this guy on board. But there's definitely an attractive part there. But there's a sus part as well, like when it comes to the meetings. So these reports came out that the New York Knicks were projectedly going to offer Jalen Brunson a certain amount of money before free agency even opened, or Jalen Brunson set to sign with the Knicks before free agency was open. So, and after those reports came out that, like, yep, Jalen Brunson's going to be signing with the New York Knicks, Woj came out with a tweet, or Adrian Wojnarowski came out with a tweet like, no, he's set to meet with the Miami Heat, and he's set to meet with the Dallas Mavericks as well. So maybe it was like Leon Rose really giving some money to Adrian Wojnarowski, like, have my back. You work for CAA. I know you. Make it look less sus that he's meeting with other teams, and he's not just locked in with us, even though there's reports that Jalen Brunson was going to the Knicks no matter what. If it was money, or like if it, like, pretty much saying he didn't go to the New York Knicks because of money, that's the reports that were coming out. But obviously when there's that much money, how could you really turn that down? And at the same time, no one's just saying, oh, I'm going to that team because of money. You just sound absolutely stupid. You just sound arrogant. You sound like a freaking asshole, if I'm being completely real with you guys. But then it turns out that Jalen Brunson didn't meet with either of those teams, and there's some scare as a New York Knicks fan. Oh, they could work a sign and trade. Jalen Brunson to Miami. Pat Riley could put the rings down. Like, yeah, we've won championships in the past. The New York Knicks haven't done anything in a while. There's a reason why I'm not a part of the New York Knicks and all that. Like, yeah, they could really have a nice discussion with Jalen Brunson and just really forced him to go to the Miami Heat. And the Dallas Mavericks went to the Western Conference Finals. We really value you. We're going to give you money. There's estimated prices as well, or apparently they offered him 5 years, $110 million. Like, those reports are coming out. I'm not sure if those are completely true at the time, but Jalen Brunson didn't even end up meeting with the Dallas Mavericks. Didn't even end up meeting with the Miami Heat. So there was some really sus situations that did go down. But again, you can make the excuse with the Rick Brunson situation. Mark Cuban, I do understand his frustrations. If this was not treated in the most professional way possible, and it definitely does not sound like it was treated in the most professional way possible, at least Dave Spencer Dinwiddie as a backup. Like, I think he was their backup plan if they didn't end up getting Jalen Brunson back. I remember Jason Kidd was like, yeah, Jalen Brunson, thank you. Most likely are going somewhere else because we're not going to be able to afford you. That type of thing. They ended up bringing in Christian Wood. You might have a nice 1-2 punch with JaVale McGee unless they still value Dwight Powell. We'll see what goes on to happen with that situation. But Leon Rose has connections, works for agencies. He knows players very well, so there's a sus factor to this. But let me know down below your thoughts. Do you think the New York Knicks deserve to be fined, deserve to get second-round picks taken away? What do you think they really deserve? Unbiased opinions down below in the comment section. I really appreciate your support. You guys are absolutely amazing. And peace out, y'all.